Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Pivot to Your Purpose podcast. Listen, tonight we're going to have a great conversation. So if you are watching, go ahead and like and share this podcast. We are going to have an amazing conversation on tonight, talking about, or at least we're going to begin the conversation on the five love languages. Okay. So make sure, again, that you go ahead and like and share. I'm sharing it on my page now so that individuals know that I am on. Okay. So we don't have any guests tonight. So I just want to let you all know about how my day was. I had a very, very, very busy day, but grateful to God that I was able to manage all of my tasks this week. Okay. This week, so far, even today, I was able to manage all of my tasks. And I'm so grateful. Have to give a shout out to my dad. There was one task that I needed to get done. And when I was on my way to do that specific task, guess what? Daddy to the rescue. He hit it out the park for me. And for that, I was so grateful. So again, if you're on, go ahead, make sure to comment so that I can shout you out and recognize you tonight for tuning in. Tonight we're streaming on three platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Okay, so we're just going to dive right into our conversation on tonight. As I stated, we're talking about understanding the five love languages. Okay. Now, if you have not read the book, The Five Love Languages, it is a must. It is a must, especially if you are married or if you are courting or dating. Some people like to use that term. Or if you are engaged, I highly encourage you to read the five love languages so that you can understand the language that your significant other prefer. And not only that, but other people that you may have a fondness of. Family members, for example, you need to know how do they express their love, and they need to know how you express your love. So we're going to unpack that. But let's recognize Wilma. Wilma is on. She said Wilma is watching. Thank you so much, Wilma, for tuning in on tonight. I am so excited that you're on tonight. And as I stated, y'all, make sure y'all feel free to engage in this conversation. Okay. Understanding the five love languages. So, our foundational scripture for tonight is coming from Ephesians 4:15. Speak the truth in love. Just that simple. And how do you speak the truth in love? You demonstrate that love. However, the person that you are demonstrating that love to may or may not speak the same language, love language as you. Let me even break it down even much clearer. My native language is English. If I am speaking to someone who speaks Spanish, they are not going to understand what I am saying. It is only understandable if I am able to speak Spanish to that Spanish speaker. Then they will know where I am coming from or the point that I am trying to get across to them. Vice versa. If they were trying to communicate with me, they need to understand the language, the English language that I am speaking, so they can understand my expression or my thoughts that I am trying to convey. And what I mean convey, what I am trying to show them or say. All right. So we have some other individuals who's on. Brianna, she is on. She said, good evening. Good evening, Brianna. Thank you so much for tuning in. She stated, sun is setting. How do you like the new time change? I like it, but I'm getting adjusted to it. I'm still trying to get acclimated. It seemed like my sleep is a little off. So hopefully I like the long days, but I just need to get my body back in a rhythm as far as my sleep pattern. That's the only thing, but I do love the longer days, Brianna. She also stated excited to hear about the love language. Love language is great. And I'm excited that I know that you're going to contribute to this conversation because I know the love languages are something that you really find near and dear to your heart. So let's continue our conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Love is not just about what we feel, it's about how we communicate it. If love is not communicated in a way someone understands, it can feel absent. That's why I gave you all the analogy about me trying to convey a message to a Spanish speaking person, a friend. If they don't understand English, they're not going to understand the point that I'm trying to make. Just like if you are trying to demonstrate your love to someone and it seems as if they're not in appreciation of your love, you say to yourself, well, God, goodly, I'm trying to show them how much I love them, but it seems like they're just not getting it. You know why? Because you're not speaking their love language. Have you ever thought about that? So even though you're demonstrating the love to that person, it seems as if the love is absent. Now, will you know every single person love language? Absolutely not. But one person that you should know, if you're, as I stated, if you're married, you should know your spouse love language. If you're courting or dating or you're engaged, you need to know your significant other's love language. And then if there's people that are close to you in your circle and you demonstrate a certain type of, I think the word is platonic love, right? It's not an intimate type of love. It's a platonic love. You want to make sure that you understand their love language as well and communicate in that area. All right. So let's see here. Brianna is tagging some people. Yes, tag them and let them get on in here. Okay. So I want to ask you all a reflection question. Have you ever felt unloved even though the other person insisted that they cared? They have spoke to you and say, listen, I really do love you. I care for you. But it seems that you still feel like you are unloved. But they're like, listen, I'm doing this. I'm giving you these gifts. And it seems like you're still not appreciative. What's wrong? That may not be your love language. We're going to talk about it. I know you like, girl, what do you keep talking about a love language? We're going to talk about it. Hang tight. Just be patient. We're going to get there. Okay. All right. So Brianna is agreeing. She said right. And she also said yes. Okay. So let's look at this here. I asked you the reflection question. Now, let me give you a little bit of insight here. Sometimes we are loving well, but we're speaking the wrong language. I've already talked about that, but I just wanted to put it on the screen again. You have to speak the right language. We often give the love we prefer to receive. So you may show your love, as I stated, by giving gifts, because I don't want to give you all of the love language at once. But you're giving gifts because you like to receive gifts. But that other person, gift giving is not what they enjoy. I'm not a gift person. That's not my love language. My love language is, you'll find out in a few. I'm not going to give it to you right now, okay? But again, I appreciate gifts. I'm not like unappreciative of gifts that are given to me, but that's not my love language. All right. So when people oftentimes say, well, okay, let me just, I'll just stop there. Okay. Cause I don't want to give you all the good goods right now. All right. So you can love someone deeply and still hurt them consistently. with your words if you don't demonstrate love in the right way. Because you can say, well, I gave you that gift. You seem like you seem like you're not appreciative of that gift. What's wrong with you? You hurt them with your words because it seems that they were not like overly excited, like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. Whereas there is another person, you give them a gift and they're appreciative of that gift. They're like, oh my goodness, you really thought about me. I love this. But you can hurt someone with your words when you give them a gift and they seem like they're not just like, right? So we have to be careful even with our words. Okay. So Brianna said, I love gifts. Me too. But it's not my love language. As I stated, I'm not like overly hype about gifts. Valentine's Day, I tell my husband, please don't worry about trying to go out there and buy me this, that, and the third. I'm good because there's other ways that I appreciate love shown. But he loves doing gifts around certain holidays. Now, am I ungrateful? Absolutely not. I'm not. I am appreciative. But as I stated, that's not my main love language. All right. So let's keep going here. Let's talk about the love languages. The first one is words of affirmation. Words of affirmation is so important. If you like compliments, right? If you like words of encouragement, if tone matters to you, how a person speaks to you, then words of affirmation is ultimately your love language. That's what you embrace. That's what you enjoy. So, words of affirmation is important. My sister, I think she sometimes thinks she knows everything about me. She was like, Lenore, words of affirmation is your love language. Words of affirmation to an extent, but I have another one. You all will find out here shortly. So, if words of affirmation, if you're watching, if words of affirmation is your love language, just put it in the comments. I would love to see if words of affirmation is your love language. Sherry, I was just talking about you and you said, I am here. Welcome, Sherry. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's podcast. So you really value how a person talks to you. Okay. Like I stated, encouragement matters in regards to words of affirmation. And I would say that my sister probably do have a point because when I was reading about words of affirmation, as I stated a few minutes ago, tone matters. And you all, if you have watched my previous podcasts, I've always talked about how tone is so important to me. Don't be aggressive when talking to me. Don't be yelling when you're talking to me. Now, will your octave increase a little bit if you're passionate? Yes. But if you're getting too loud, I can't do it. So, words of affirmation is important to me. But this one is also really important. And this may be your love language. Quality time. So if you're dating someone or if you're married to someone and quality time is your love language, then if a person is constantly giving you gifts or if they're constantly giving you words of affirmation, if they're not spending time with you, creating those memories with you, then guess what? Their love, you don't really see their love for you and the full picture. Why? Because they're not taking out the time with you to go on trips, to go bowling, to go, if you do fun, arcade games. You like to go to the mountains. You like to swim. You like to go fishing. whatever you enjoy and you like to make those intimate moments together. If quality time is important for you and that other person, then that is your love language. And it is important for you to share with that other person. Listen, I understand you want to shower me with this and shower me with that, but I am trying to explain to you that my love language is quality time. So if you want to basically love me the way I want to be loved, then quality time is what I am looking for. Okay. So that's important. Now, Brianna said, what if I get loud because I'm excited and not upset? So I just basically stated, Brianna, that if a person is very passionate because they are excited about something, that is a difference. But if you're literally yelling and fussing because there is a disagreement that had came there, then that's the difference there. Okay? But your point, definitely understandable. And I think anyone who's in a conversation with you or anyone else, if they're excited and they're getting a little loud, they can understand that. But some people have noise sensitivity and they're like, hey, can you quiet it down just a little bit? I know you're excited, but can you bring it down some? And I observe with you too, you have noise sensitivity. Okay. All right. But yes, to answer your question. All right. So Brianna stated quality time is my love language. So Brianna, spending time with individuals that you love is your love language. So anyone who knows you or appreciate your friendship, then guess what? They're going to find time to spend with you if they appreciate the relationship that you all have established. So when you start dating someone or courting someone, Brianna, you have to ensure that you share with that person, listen here, Willie. I'm not saying that's his name. I just threw that out there. Listen here, Willie. I just want to let you know that my love language is quality time. But on the other end, Brianna, you have to ask Willie what you have to ask Willie, Brianna, what is his love language so that you both can ensure that you are reciprocating the love that that person is looking for. Okay. All right. Roderick is on. He said, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Roderick. Thank you so much for tuning in. All right. Brianna said, my spouse is going to say I'm clingy. Listen, that's something you can convey up front because you can tell your spouse, listen, I want to let you know that my love language is clingy. Quality time. So I want to spend time with you. Now, at the end of the day, you still got to give your spouse that space, but you all will find, okay, the boundaries and the parameters for each other to still give you all that space, but yet create that cohesiveness that, of course, you're looking for in your relationship. And that should be communicated up front, right? Because you don't want to get with someone and they don't understand that quality time is your love language and that you are a bit clingy. And then when they start doing something like, why you want to go with me everywhere? I mean, can I have my space? Those words for you can be very triggering. So it's very important to be transparent, y'all. Have these conversations, especially for these singles. Have these conversations up front. This will save you a lot of time, headache, separation, and also divorce if you understand each other's love languages. Okay? All right. Let's continue here. Brianna also stated, I definitely have noise sensitivity. I know you do. I've witnessed it. All right. She said, but if I can feel a shift when someone is in my presence, I would rather end the time. Okay. Definitely understand that. And that's in regards to when we were talking about tone, having a conversation. And when the tone shift and you kind of know, okay, this person is becoming a little belligerent. They're getting a little irate. I need to wrap this conversation up. Okay. Sherry said, I do know everything about you. Sherry, really? Really? Ma'am, I just had to put that. You know some things about your little sis. All right. So let me read these other comments here because y'all are really bringing in some good comments. I want to recognize this person. I'll get back to Brianna comment. Shanika Williams is on. Good evening, Shanika. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's podcast. We welcome you here to the pivot room. Okay. All right. Brianna stated, that's why I have to be careful because I can fall in love fast. Hopeless romantic is what they call me. Well, honey, you're not the only one, Brianna. I'm sure there are other individuals who are out there that have to be careful because they can fall in love fast. So they have to be surrounded by those friends who will snatch them back to reality and say, girl, what are you thinking? Man, what are you thinking? I need for you to use your sense. I know he smell good. I know he looks good. I know he has a good paying job. He may have all of the attributes that you can physically see, but what's going on in that? As we say, that dome, what's going on in that mind, right? So we don't want you to be a hopeless romantic person, but we appreciate your transparency there. All right. Sherry Dawson Williams said it, girl. Yes, I said Willie. I had to give her some name, Sherry. So that's why I said Willie. I had to say Willie. All right. Sherry said, yes, Brianna, you are clingy, but you have to know when to back back. Laugh out loud. Wow, Sherry. Okay, Brianna said, no, that's not what she was talking about, early quality time. Okay, Brianna, if I need to bring you in to clarify, I can bring you in. Okay. But she said, me and my spouse will have the town shirts when two people can wear the same shirts. So I guess she wants to be that spouse that her and her husband wear the same shirts. Like I can see her right now. He has on an Adidas outfit. She has on an Adidas outfit. He has on a Puma outfit. She has on Puma. But the man may say, can you please figure out another outfit versus dressing like me all the time? We can dress like sometime, but we don't have to be matching every time we go out and be twinning. So yes, Brianna, you may have to work on a little bit of things. Because that man may not like that level of clinginess. But who's to say that? Who's to say? Because you may have one that is out there named Willie that he doesn't mind that you are a little clingy. All right. Good interaction, good conversation on tonight. Let's continue our conversation. Brianna said, we definitely will be twins. Brianna, I'm gonna tell you, that man is not going to want to dress like you every single day. So you might as well hang that up on the shelf. He is not going to want to dress like you every single day. And I pray right now that you get some sort of deliverance from that, because that's a bit extreme. That photo shoot and everything. Oh my goodness. Sherry said, Willie, Brianna is looking for you. Yes, Willie. Willie, Brianna is looking for you. Lord Jesus, I just mentioned Willie. Lord, like, don't be bringing my name in this conversation. Okay, y'all, let's continue. So we talked about quality time. We talked about words of affirmation. Let's talk about the third love language real briefly here. The third one is acts of service. Doing things for you, right? For example, filling up your gas tank for the ladies. Your gas is on half a tank or closer to E. What does he do? He says, you know what? I'll go fill your tank up for you. Or he may cook dinner for you. Vice versa. You may cook dinner for him. You may make him lunch, and in his lunchbox, you slide a little card in there that say, hey, I just wanted to let you know, have a great day, X, Y, and Z. Now, that's talking about from like a romantic standpoint. But what if you are friends, just, you just have your regular circle of friends and you want to demonstrate your love to your circle of friends? Some of your circle of friends, the way you demonstrate love to them is acts of service. They may not necessarily be that friend. They love you, but they don't spend that quality time with you all the time. But they will do something for you every now and then. Say, girl, listen, go get your nails done. Go get a pedicure. I'm sending you some edible arrangements. I have not had edible arrangements in a while. That's an act of service. And that's how you can express your love to your friends, to people that are close to you. So acts of service is very, very important. Okay. Jesus himself demonstrated this so great. Acts of service. He was out there healing, saving, feeding thousands and thousands and thousands of people with just 2 fishes and 5 loaves of bread. He multiplied that. That was his act of service. That was his way to demonstrate his love and also his power. So that is an example from a biblical standpoint. All right. Let's continue to read some of these comments. Brianna said, I like this too. Brianna said, to be honest, I need all these love language to be shown. Shine. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want all of them to be demonstrated, they can be demonstrated. But there is going to be one that supersedes all of them. So I definitely agree with you in regards to that. All right. Especially if you just love. And you want to be with someone who really loves love, not someone who just tolerates you or just to say, you know what? I'm married or I'm dating or I'm courting just to fulfill a void. But you're married, but you're living as roommates. There's people who do that. Or you're dating someone and they don't really love you. They on Tinder trying to find somebody else or in somebody else's DM. But just to say I have somebody, but you're sharing someone. Okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, let's continue to read some of these comments here. Sherry stated, that is my love language. My husband washes the dishes. So acts of service is your love language, Sherry. He listened to Bishop's message the Sunday before last, and he cooked a broccoli, sausage, rice, and cheese casserole. Wow. Congratulations, Rod. Shout out to you. That is amazing. Shout out to you. So acts of service is Sherry love language. If you love Sherry, guess what? She wants you to do something for her. Show her that you love her. Don't just say it through words of affirmation. Love is a what? It is an action. Action verb. All right. Put it in action. So we love that for you, Sherry. And Brianna said, that's awesome. And she said, shout out to Rod. Shout out to you. We love this. We love this. All right, y'all. We'll be right back right after this commercial break.
Luxury isn't just a look. It's a feeling. And every moment deserves to be captured in its most timeless form. At Bougie Brie Photography, confidence meets the camera. Every pose, every detail becomes unforgettable. Whether you're stepping in front of the lens or into the spotlight, your beauty becomes cinematic, transformed into visuals that move you. And when it's time to celebrate, strike, smile, shine. Our luxury photo booth turns every event into a bold, unforgettable experience. Your story is more than a moment. It's artistry, it's emotion, it's you, captured with intention and elevated with elegance. So whether it's photography, videography, or a high-end photo booth, let's create something iconic. Book your luxury experience today. Bougie Brief Photography, where your confidence meets the camera.
All right. And as you all know, it is this segment is sponsored by Bougie Brief Photography. Y'all book her because I'm telling you, she has been getting booked for the month of March. So if you want to get booked, make sure that you all book her. Listen, I just told you, and she put it up here. The calendar is filling. Schedule your session today. Bougie Brief Photography. All right. So let's read these other comments that came in here. Okay. Brianna stated, I love love. Listen, like I stated, we all love love. She also said, yes, I can't do that. It's amazing we're having this conversation. We were having this conversation today, Chandler McKinnon, Troy. So y'all had a conversation. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. Brianna stated, the thing with Sherry, she is such a take charge person. It's hard to act for someone that's 10 steps ahead. Sit down somewhere sometimes. I have to concur with you in regards to that, Brianna. She's like, you tell her something, and before you know it, she's ordered it. She's already built up a sample. I mean, and if you all don't know already, let me go ahead and put this plug in here real quick to just go in the conversation in regards to acts of service. But like Brianna says, she's always doing something. Okay. So you have to be really quick on your feet with her. So if you all do not know that the Sister Pouring Into Me is coming back. Woohoo! Y'all give me some hearts there, send some emojis. The refill, refocus, re-emerge, the rebirth experience is going to be taking place on October the 10th from 10:30 to 4 o'clock p.m. Yes, y'all, at New Life Center at Haymont UMC. Okay. And let me tell y'all something. And y'all won't see me because I want this to stay on the screen for a minute. The great thing about this is when we were talking about my sister, she's always 10 steps ahead. Today, I had to go by her house because I had to take care of some business. And y'all know what? She is already working on what the table arrangements are going to look like. Already. I'm like, girl, it's in October. But let me share something with you. Her love language is acts of service. So that's the love language that she loves to see, and that's the love language that she displays. Right? But of course, some such as that comes with a little price tag. Okay? So she can help you decorate. She don't want me to put this out here. If y'all reach out to her, she probably say, no, I just do that for my sister and my son or something like that. But she's amazing in doing balloon arches. So I'm glad Brianna mentioned that. That was really, really good. All right. So let me read these other comments. Here, Brianna said, that's because I love physical touch. We haven't even gotten there yet, Brianna. Let's hold hands and walk downtown with our matching tees. Okay, so you're talking about that you want to twin with your husband. Willie is not going to want to walk down and with you every time y'all go downtown with matching tees. The man, he may want to wear some polo or something like that, but you want to wear matching tees. But if you want to match them, you're probably going to buy a polo yourself. I just think that's what you're going to do. But Sherry said, yes, put the plug in. Okay, for Sister Pouring to Me 2026. Y'all, when I tell you it is going to be epic, trust me. It is going to be epic. And if you've attended any of my events before, they've always been phenomenal. But when I tell you the rebirth experience is definitely going to be a rebirth experience, trust me, it will. All right. Come on, sister, pour into me. Yes, 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 yes. It is going to be awesome, and I'm excited. Sherry said, absolutely. So leave me alone and let me display my love language. So I can definitely see, Sherry, when you said acts of service, definitely I can see that. All right. Yes, Sherry, Willie is going to run. I trust and believe this, that man, he gonna run. Okay. He's definitely gonna get missing. If Willie gets missing, she will know what he is wearing to report him to the police. Again, if they're dressing alike, definitely. So y'all, if y'all just tuning in, we have been talking about quality time. We've been talking about words of affirmation, those different types of love languages, which are the different types. So acts of service, we've talked about that as a love language as well. Now, the other one is gifts. Okay? Gifts. Gifts is so important for some people. They want you to show them a gift. If you do not have a gift to give them, they don't want to talk to you. They don't think that you're showing them any type of love if you're not giving them a gift. So, if gifts is a love language for that person, then you want to make sure that you're doing that. And from a standpoint, I can see different people that I love and I'm around, they love gifts. So again, that's their love language. All right. Hey, daddy. My daddy is on, y'all. Let's give it up for my daddy. Daddy, I'm going to read your comment. But before I read your comment, I got to give you a little hand clap. Thank you, daddy, for tuning in tonight. My daddy said, I give my son-in-law, Roderick, a shout out. Keep up the good work. Practice make what? Perfect. Yes, daddy. Your next assignment is to cook her a cake. Daddy said whether a 1-layer cake or a 2-layer cake. That's right, daddy. He's doing a great job. And guess what? Since he started it, he will continue it. And like you stated, practice make perfect. And that's what we all have to learn, even with our love languages. It may be something new that you don't know about your significant other or that person. But as you conversate and you communicate, communication is so important. What you will find out is this. You will find out that your significant other appreciate your thoughtfulness when you start to learn their love language. Okay, so that's important. Thank you, daddy. Look, Brianna said, hey, Bishop. She's excited that you are on. Listen, y'all, we got to make sure to watch this now. Acts of service. I want to go back up to that one really quickly. I want to show that. Acts of service. Now, my dad, he has wanted to get on to my podcast and comment. But sometimes our older adults may have a little learning curve. So we have to take time and demonstrate our love to them and also demonstrate our patience with them and show them how to basically operate technology so they can be part of the conversation. So Dad, you're doing a wonderful job. I love it. I'm glad that you're here and it's good. So Sherry said, nah, Dad, I'm good. I still want a roof over my head, meaning she don't want Roderick to bake a cake, that 1 or 2 layer, because she feels as though the man may burn the house down. But Sherry, he can do it. If he didn't burn up your broccoli, sausage, cheese, and rice casserole, he can do it. And she also stated, hey, Bishop, aka Daddy. Yes, Daddy. Thank you so much for tuning in. So acts of service, that was an act of service showing him exactly how to utilize this technology so he can be part of the conversation. Y'all, we're going to go to another commercial break and we'll be right back. We're almost at the end of the show. Some of you have experienced so much trauma dealing and loving the wrong man. So it took her having an encounter with God
to realize my love is not tied to what's back there in my house. In order to pour in yourself, you got to learn how to receive. I'm surrounded by my sisters. I'm going to pour into myself. I'm going to glean all of this information that God is pouring into me. And once I glean this information and I eat and I digest it, I'm going to raise my hand and say, Lord, I thank you for replenishing me. Lord, I thank you for loving me. Lord, I thank you for keeping me in my right. What?
All right. So listen, if you all are looking for your next keynote speaker, if you're looking for training, if you're looking for coaching, if you're looking for ministry, feel free to visit my website, y'all, www.lenoralassiter.com, so that you can book me for any of the services that you may be looking for. I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Listen, Sherry stated, my daddy don't have no learning curve. He just needed to know where to go. Sherry, I didn't say that in like a being funny or condescending way. It may not have came out right, but my daddy know what I'm talking about. He just needed to know like where to go and to show him how to comment, or Sherry, that's all. All right. So Sherry, I'm going to show up at your house after this podcast, and you and I, we're going to have a little sister to sister conversation. Okay. And Brianna, she had to laugh at that. All right. And Brianna also tagged me and she said, love this. Now, she stated, this looks like an engaging event you had. It was very engaging, very engaging. It was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. She also said, not the hair flip, child. You don't have any hair hanging on your neck. Did I flip my hair? Oh, well, sorry. Okay. Listen, my buns still have body, y'all. My buns still have body. Shout out to my amazing stylist, Sam. Okay. She also said, boost your services. I love it. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Listen, y'all, I really want to go back again. I don't know why this one keeps standing out to me. And we're going to touch on the last one. Acts of service is a love language. Today, I was coming from Rayford, North Carolina, because I had to teach at the Hoke Chamber of Commerce. I had to facilitate a class there. Wonderful group of business owners, wonderful group of individuals. It was amazing. And we talked about the $1 million mindset today. So as I was coming back from Rayford, if y'all don't know, I love thrifting. Okay. That thrifting, if that was a love language, that's a love language for me. So I stopped by the Goodwill on the way back. And then there was these two gentlemen, and they were engaging in conversation, and they were just talking about the goodness of the Lord. And so I had someone with me, and the gentleman was talking about how they just love this song. And they was like, oh, that's just an oldie song, talking about some old gospel songs, some gospel hymns. So with that being stated, the person that was with me was like, well, that girl over there, she can sing. She can sing. You really want to hear a good old gospel song, she can sing. So I'm looking like, I just came to kind of see if they had like a nostalgia type piece that I can add to my vintage collection or just add to, my wardrobe. I like unique pieces. So I said, I'm just here for that. I did not come in this store to sing. So one of the men stated, he said, so you can sing? I said, yes, sir. I had to be honest. And he was like, well, you need to go ahead and sing me a song then. So you know what I did? I said, if you want me to sing a song, you got to give me a discount. He said, I can't do that for you. That's not our policy. I said, but you want me to sing. So I was trying to exchange some acts of service. But again, I knew he couldn't give me a discount. I was just messing with him. And so he was like, you gonna sing? So you know what? I reached back around and started looking at some clothes, and then I just started singing for them. That's the type of environment it was this morning when I was traveling back. So I started singing for them. And then lo and behold, those two gentlemen, they was like, oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Then, excuse me, they walked down and they were talking to each other. And the gentleman said, "Well, how are you feeling?" He said, "I feel good." He said, "My day is made." And he said, "That woman over there made my day." And y'all know he was talking about. He was talking about me. Just because I took just a few minutes of my time to sing a little hymn to him, it was an act of service, and he was so grateful. And he stated that it really made his day. So again, acts of service can be demonstrated to individuals that we may not even necessarily know, but we show that love. So that was a love language, and me doing that for him. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you all. Okay. Sherry stated, "You find me something from the Goodwill. Try to find you something, but did not this time. But next time around, I got you, sis." All right. Sherry stated, "Unknown person that I will not name need to close the unknown name person." Need to close the unknown person mouth. Yes. And yes, but you know that unknown person, they love to kind of, as mama used to say, they like to run that gap. They like to run that mouth and call you out. So they did call me out. But at the end of the day, it made the gentleman's day, and that's what all matter. Okay, y'all. Y'all want to know what the last one is? All right. So, real quick to recap, we talked about words of affirmation as a love language, quality time as a love language, acts of service, gifts, and drum roll, please. Number 5 is physical touch. That's a love language for some people. They love the holding of hands. They love the hugs. They love, you know, the hands around the waist. They just love those things, right? That to them is a demonstration of love. And the reason why I'm looking in the camera like this is because I'm saying it's a demonstration of love, but you want to make sure that it is a demonstration of love just for you. Okay? Because that physical touch, if that person is not sold out, save, and really love monogamously that one person, you as their spouse, then you don't want them showing physical touch to anyone else. That physical touch should be strictly for you. So individuals who don't receive that physical touch in their marriage, they feel as though, okay, that person really does, they don't love me. They're not holding my hand. They're not, putting their arms around me. If that's your love language, physical touch, then you need to ensure that you communicate that to your spouse. If you are engaged and you plan to get married, you need to let your fiance know, listen, I want to let you know physical touch is part of my love language. Notice what I said. Letting your fiance know when we get married, physical touch is part of my love language. Okay. All right. So let's read these. Hugs too. Brianna said hugs too. And she also said, hey, Shanika Williams. Shanika has been on for a while, Brianna. I'm so glad that you was able to recognize her. She also gave some hand of applause there. And Chander is on. She stated, Chander is watching. Hello, Chander. My friend Keisha is on. Hello, Keisha. Thank you all for joining in on the conversation. So y'all, guess what? Tonight, we covered all 5 love languages. If you find yourself in every single one of those love languages, okay, if all 5 is your love language, words of affirmation, if quality service is, if acts of service is your love language, if gifts is your love language, and also if physical touch is your love language, make sure you convey that to your significant other and let them know these are my love languages. Convey it to your spouse so that they can love you the right way. All right. You may not need all 5, but you may need 1 or 2 or 3. Communicate that so that you can make sure that your love stays strong and your relationship. All right. Shanika said, hey, Bree. So Brianna also stated, I have to have some serious conversations. You really do. And therapy may be really good. I would suggest couples therapy. Definitely start there early. So Willie would know what he's working with, and you would know what you're working with. Y'all, it's just been kind of like um, a running type of hilarious joke since the beginning of the podcast. I had to just name someone for her utilizing examples. Okay. Wilma stated, I truly have enjoyed and have learned more for my marriage. I'm glad you have, Wilma. That is key. I'm so glad that you have learned a lot. Hey, my friend stated that acts of service is my love language. Okay. So thank you for letting me know that, Keisha. Since we are friends, I need to make sure that I do more of acts of service for our friendship. So I definitely can say I have witnessed that for yourself. As far as like me, like birthdays and things of that nature, we always make time for each other to celebrate each other. Now you have a birthday coming up in April, so we got to figure out what we're gonna do, because acts of service is so important. All right, Brianna stated, but I have to work on becoming speechless at times. And you know what I mean. Oh my goodness. So if quietness was a love language, I definitely can see you fitting in that mold. And I definitely know what you're saying. As becoming speechless. Yes, ma'am. Yes. And being a morning person, right? Because guess what? That other person may not be a morning person. I know a few people that I love dearly. I'm a morning person, but they're not morning people. I know everybody got to have their time to get up in the morning, just quiet time. And I'm not the type of person I just gonna bust out and start talking. But if I'm like in a car with someone and they don't want to talk in the morning and like, I sound like Scooby Doo. I don't know where that came from, but you know what? You got to have that conversation. Listen, I'm not a morning person. I need some time in the morning just to be quiet by myself. You have to respect that. But I mean, 15 minutes in, I need for you to get it together. We ride and get it together. And I'm not talking about, this is for everybody, but I have a special little friend and they kind of like that. But I'm gonna keep praying and working on. Keisha said, that's right, friend. Yes, yes, yes. Y'all, it's been a ball. It's been a blast. I've had a busy day. Y'all, if I could just run down my schedule for y'all today, it's been busy. And then I had a little tech issues, but I was able to work it out. Grateful to God that I was able to get on and do the 5 love languages. So hopefully we will be back here in another 2 weeks or so to just continue some good conversation here on the Pivot to Your Purpose podcast. All right. Keisha stated, you are definitely a morning person, friend. I'm totally opposite. See, Keisha is totally opposite. Can I ask y'all a question for the non-morning people? What is it about the morning that y'all not morning people? Can y'all please let me know real quick? I know we about to wrap it up, but I need to know. And I'm gonna give you time to type because I know y'all probably on those phones. And if you got big thumbs like me, yes, I said big thumbs, then it may take you a minute to type. But I really want to know why certain individuals are not like morning people. Can y'all let me know in the comments? I'm gonna play a little music while y'all are typing your comments because I really want to know. Okay, y'all, this is good. I just like this impromptu bonus question here. Okay, so listen, I have to read this, but I want to recognize Wilma. She said, "Be blessed even more." Thank you so much, Wilma. All right, Sherry said, "I am a morning person." Yes, Sherry. I guess we came from the same bowels, sis, but I think because we're like close in age, we are morning people. All right, Wilma said, "I'm a morning person." So listen, y'all. It's 2 for 2 right now for morning people. All right. Sherry Taylor. Hi, Sherry. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sherry said, I I'm a night owl. I function better at night. Listen, Sherry, you know what? I can be a night owl too. And I have to make myself go to bed. I was talking about that today in my training about setting goals. I can work sometimes up to 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Literally, if I have my mind set to do something on a task, I can work up to 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And I have to say, Lenore, you got to shut it down. There's an entire day that you can work on this particular assignment. So yes, I can be a night owl too. All right. So far we got 2 for 2 morning. We have a night owl, and then we have a not me. We have a not me person that comes back and say, what did I miss? And that's why I so kindly put up the banner. Okay. But yeah, I got you, Brianna. I know that you all are what are you waiting for? I was waiting for you all to respond to the question. So I'm glad you caught back up, because I know that you all are in the shop and you're getting your hair done. So Sherry stated, I'm a morning, afternoon, and night person. So she's an all-day person. You're not gonna speak to Sherry in the morning time and say hello, and she's gonna be like, hey. She's gonna be like, good morning. I'm that type of person. My nephew, he's like that type of person. He good morning. My husband, he's not a morning person. You got to give him a little bit of time to wake up. Okay? All right. So, let's read some other comments. Shanika said, I enjoy listening in and thanking God for you in this platform. You are more than welcome, Shanika. And I'm so grateful to God that you tuned in tonight. Not only did you tune in, Shanika, but you participated, girl. And I love that. I love that. All right, Keisha, I bust out laughing while I was playing that music. And I've read this comment, low iron. Friend, I need for you to get on some good iron and get those iron levels up so you're not tired in the morning. We need you vibrant. But no, I understand. I do. Everyone has their own personality, and you need some time in the morning. But if I know that a person is not a morning person, I'm going to respect that person, because I'm laughing because I used to be that type of person. I know that person's not a morning person. I'd be like, good morning to you. How you doing? Let's talk. But I know that person's not a morning person. That's not being nice. That's just being a little bit of poking at them. Okay. So if I know that person is not a morning person, we respect that. But friend, I need for you to get on some strong iron dosages. But I don't want you to get it too much, because I don't want your, other stuff can get locked up. And I need for you to, stay functional. All right. I think you know how to read between the lines. Okay. All right. So let's read this here. Okay. Brianna, I think you got the question. I hope you did. Wilma said, I also need to say my husband is also, your husband is a morning person. That's good. So both of y'all are morning people. That's good to hear. All right. Sherry said, why aren't you a morning person? Why aren't you a morning person? And explain why. That was a question, Brianna. My daddy said, amen, amen. Especially they just don't want face some of those things they may have to do or go through. That is true, Dad. When we were talking about relationships, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about that. All right. So Brianna said, oh, wow. Okay. So this is good to know. Obstructive sleep apnea is my reason. This young lady is being one of the most transparent young ladies on this podcast. I mean, she's literally letting y'all into her life, and other people are letting you all into their life too by sharing. But to go from a general standpoint to be very specific, medical wise, this is why she's not a morning person, because she suffers from obstructive sleep apnea. So now I know if I am meeting Brianna early, like in the morning or something, and if she's not vibrant and she's still trying to get her grounding, I have to respect that. I can't sit there and expect to carry on a conversation with her. It takes time for her to settle in her day. So thank you, Brianna, for that. And I think we all can learn from that. Sherry Taylor said, yes, my mind never stops. Listen, Sherry. Yeah, that's how my mind is. But now I'm learning balance and boundaries. Balance and boundaries. We need balance and boundaries in relationships. We need balance and boundaries in our personal life. And we need balance and boundaries in work and also in our business. Okay. All right. Caleb said, tell Auntie he is eating sushi. Well, I hope you have me some sushi too, son. After I finish this podcast, your auntie will be ready to eat because she did not cook dinner at all. Okay. Brianna said, Keisha, she feels you in regards to not being a morning person. Sherry said, I don't care what she is suffering from. She is going to talk to me. My gracious. So Brianna, she want to have a conversation with you, Suge. Sherry gave me a thumbs up. Listen, y'all know us. We can continue to talk, but y'all, let me tell you something. I also have to create what? Boundaries. And also I have to create balance for even myself. So y'all know what? Catch me in about 2 weeks. I love you all. Have a great evening. And please, as I stated, please lock in this date. Okay. I need to see all of y'all in the place. Share it with your loved ones, your family, and your friends. And we're going to end out with the Sister Pour Into Me. Refill, refocus, reemerge, the rebirth experience. You all have a phenomenal night. Take care.